bubble tea, that trendy sugary drink you are queued up for and you are never quite sure about its content.
Those days are over with boba.
Hang on. I'm quite sure about its content, but continue.
Okay. Yeah. We have transformed.
Hello my viewers and welcome back to my channel. I welcome you to a disturbing tale of cultural insensitivity and entitlement. In this video, meet Jessica and her partner, the Canada-based founders of a bubble tea company who dare to claim they've improved a beloved Asian drink, boba. Now on the surface, it's just a peach, yeah? But scratch beneath and you will find a toxic mix of cultural appropriation and palm color saviorism. Now, see my Dragon's Den investor calls out Jessica's audacity. You're not quite sure about its content. The implication, guys, is that marginalized communities can't create something safe or healthy. Now, the original creators of boba were erased from the narrative. Cultural significance, we can call it, ignored. Now, this isn't about a drink. It's about who gets to own culture, who gets to profit, and who gets to decide what's better. So with that said, join me as different people share their views or their thoughts on this. I will be right back.
What do you mean you're not sure about its content? Who's not sure about its content? It's sugar, tea, milk, tapioca pearls. But it's always that way, isn't it? You can't trust the people of the ethnicity from which that food comes to actually make that food because, they're so deviant, right? Like agua fresca has to be turned into spa water because, otherwise it's dirty and it's unclean. You can't trust a Chinese restaurant to cook Chinese food because it's probably dog or cat. And thank God, had it not been for these two, God knows what you'd be getting when you'd go out for boba. So this couple, I don't know if they're like married or just business partners or whatever, they're seeking $1 million from, this show in Canada, which I guess is the equivalent of Shark Tank here in the United States. And they want $1 million to invest in their boba company. And that's the whole premise of their company is like, you don't know what you're getting when you go out for boba, but you can trust us, but you can't trust the people from which this food came. It's just spa water and clear skin tacos and, cucumber salad all over again. And I have to go because I have to go coach a volleyball game. But there's so much about this video that I want to address. I can't do it all now. This could end up being like a, 30-part series. But this whole premise, this whole idea, this narrative that you cannot trust certain ethnicities to make and provide for you their own foods because there's some deviant element to it because they can't be trusted to give you whatever it is you think you're getting, that you need people like this to come save you and give you a clean, trustworthy version of it. I am so sick and tired of hearing.
I'm concerned about this idea of disrupting or disturbing bubble tea because it's something that's
Why?
very
There
near.
can be new takes on things.
Sure,
Nothing,
but I'm looking at
not
I'm
everything
looking
has to
at
be
these two
traditional.
guys. No, but then there's also an issue of cultural appropriation. There's an issue of taking something that's very distinctly Asian in its identity and quote unquote making it better, which I have an issue with.
If you haven't watched that clip, please go watch it. It's on CBC News. That's what came up on my For You page when I first saw this. But he's not wrong. And I hate that everybody on that panel was so dismissive, especially the other Asian person on that panel was so dismissive about his concerns. And his concerns are actually very valid. And he's not wrong about the cultural appropriation of a lot of Asian dishes or a lot of Asian items that are starting to become more popular. And the idea that it has to be healthier to market to other people who are not Asian is the problem. And the fact that this company specifically does not have anything in their marketing talking about the origins of boba and are trying to market this as healthy, that's a huge problem. And a lot of this has to do with Americans who have gone with this story, with this whole thing that boba is not good for you, that it's really, really bad. Because there was a story that came out years ago about how a woman or a man, I can't remember, a person, had to get their stomach pumped because they ate too much boba and it did not digest correctly. And I've been talking about the anti-Asian propaganda when it comes to Asian foods because a lot of times Asian cuisine and Asian foods get villainized. And what happens is once it gets marketed to white people, the Asian dish, Asian item doesn't seem so bad after all. We've seen this time and time again with MSG, with the fried rice syndrome, with spicy cucumber salad. And it's just so dismissive of like the origins of boba and like boba itself because it came from Taiwan, right? But the way that this is being marketed is just so telling and so like dismissive of boba. But somehow because it's healthier, it'll be marketable and profitable, which is the problem. And I don't blame Simu for bringing up that valid concern. And I'm glad that they posted that. And I hope to God that this company somehow learns from this and actually takes that into account before they like put this out there.
As a small business owner who started out by selling to Westerners alternative bubble tea, this is my take on this. Notice that Simu comes from a background of understanding what is bubble tea. He's already not the audience they're looking for.
We have transformed this beloved beverage into a convenient and healthier, ready-to-drink experience.
In my humble opinion, that first pitch with the healthier, ready-to-drink convenience is already a really great sell. But there is a widespread outrage on how the rest of their pitch went, the quality of their products, and the taste as well. Go see the video for yourself and drop comments below on what you think, because I'm going to be sharing my little opinion in a next video.
Hi Simu, I'm Olivia, co-founder of Toro Milk Tea. We make a line of premium plant-based milk teas that are non-dairy tea lattes, as well as bobas that are single-serve packets, low prep, no prep. You can grab them from your pantry. You can make boba milk tea in under a minute and feel great about drinking. I'm Taiwanese American. My co-founder is Chinese American. We're a daughter of immigrants, both moms. We grew up drinking boba milk tea, and when we were growing up, we couldn't find brands, products who had founders that looked like us, who understood the cultural flavors, who actually represented the flavor profiles. And so we are so grateful and applaud you for highlighting the culture and appropriation that's out there now. We are so wanting to share more of our flavor profiles. As you can tell, I'm a little bit obsessed with boba. I grew up drinking this. I am so grateful. Again, please continue highlighting this important issue. Let's together continue to support more Asian founders that are actually changing the food system, that believe in their own culture, that represent their culture. And let's continue this conversation. Let's send you some milk tea and boba to try. Thanks again.
What would you have done if you were these people? And Simu asked you this.
What respect is being paid to this very Asian drink?
Okay, so see me, I would not have said this. I would not have said boba is not an ethnical, again, what does ethnical mean? I don't know, product anymore. Because your boba pops and is alcoholic, so I understand what you mean. It's very different. Why is your brand name boba? You know what I mean? I don't think I would have said that. Also, I probably wouldn't have rolled my eyes at Simu for just asking me how I'm respecting this very Asian drink, right? What I probably would have done, instead of being so dismissive of him, right, and boba tea as a concept, is I would have been like, oh, well, thank God you're here. If you use your little noggin, hopefully you could put that two together. Also to say, you're never quite sure about its content. We actually do know what boba is made out of. Not the best idea. So I probably would have not dismissed him and just asked him for help, because that's what you're there to do. Right? Ask people for help. You're literally asking investors for help. You know what I mean? Probably wouldn't have said this either. You know, those days are over with boba. All the boba stores, close them down now. Shut them down. Now, this wonderful lady who invested in the brand and told Simu why. Why ask these questions? Their community takes on things. Here's a good example of that. I love Chamoy. You should check out this brand. She was on Shark Tank. She's the cutest little founder ever. Her brand was born because she loves Chamoy. This is her whole story. Basically, it's a sugar-free version of Chamoy without any of the food coloring. It's very healthy. Instead of on Chamoy, which is what these people were doing to boba, by the way, she uplifts Chamoy in its entirety. And she's like, unfortunately, my dad was a diabetic. He could no longer have sugar, and that's why I wanted to create it. And I wanted to give all the people who couldn't have sugar my version of Chamoy. It's a new take on a traditional thing, but it's done with a lot of respect. You know what I mean? Anyway, so that's just me. That's what I would have done differently. Let me know what you think.
I can say a lot of things here. I can talk about how utterly offensive the pitch was, the business was, the panel was, CBC is, because CBC put this clip out there. They're counting on you to make enough noise on social media to boost their algorithm, but not actually push back against this product that one of their dragons is backing. I'm afraid they're probably right, because people generally enjoy seeing East Asians lose, especially on a matter of a culture. And especially in this dynamic, Simu is the man and investor is the woman. Simu is paler and investor is a darker complexion. A lot going on here where people may not react to this. But at this moment, I also want to draw people's attention to how she responded to Simu. Because she says, first, when Simu says something, Everybody acted like nobody said anything. Nobody even acknowledged Simu said anything. Nobody acknowledged that they're speaking over Simu, who understands the dynamics around how people treat East Asians, and he is acting as an ally to Taiwanese people. And when Simu goes back in the second time, directly address the person who actually funded the business, she comes back with, why? That already places Simu as unusual. And she comes back with, they have an opportunity to change. This is a practice phrase because she didn't say, oh, I'm going to talk to them about changing. I'm going to encourage them to change. Yeah, we should sit down and really consider what you're saying. She said, they have an opportunity to change, which is a completely neutral statement. And because not changing is the default, they have a far bigger opportunity to not change. These responses are not designed to respond to the problem, to solve the problem, to build on the progress. Those responses are purely designed to shut the other person up. But the problem is, it markets very well to the Western audience.
Now, everyone is talking about Simu Liu's response to these boba tea founders. In a recent episode of Dragon's Den, actor Simu Liu was a guest judge, and his comments sparked major conversation about cultural appropriation. Now, the founders of Boba are a Quebec-based company making a ready-to-drink version of bubble tea and claim it a healthy twist on the beloved bubble tea. Now, according to Boba's website, they make non-alcoholic, alcoholic bubble tea, and popping bobas. And the fact that this company specifically does not have anything literally in their marketing talking about the origins of boba and are trying to market this as healthy, I feel that's like a huge problem. Pamkula people get to profit from other people's culture without paying any homage. Now, the founders did say that their drink is made in Taiwan. Now, that entire video, I suggest you watch it, like all of it, like the full clip, because it was diabolical, inconceivable. What do you mean you made it better? Like, that is a prime example of having a colonizer mindset and tendencies, thinking just because you took something from another culture or another country, you somehow made it healthier or better. Now, I don't know how they are going to handle this backlash, and talk of the audacity of saying that we made it better to Simu, who is part of the Asian community. Like, guys, it's wild. Like, everything about this brand, their drink, them especially, and how they responded was very dismissive, if you ask me. They give zero credit to where boba originated from. And it's just giving that thing, you know, like, I can call it disgusting. Now, it all began when the Shang-Chi and the legend of the 10-ring star was less than amused by a bottled ready-to-drink boba beverage from a Pamkala couple who claimed they made the drink of Asian origin better. Now, Liu accused the pair of taking something that's very distinctly Asian in its identity and failed to include where it came from in the pitch, and criticized the duo for profiting off of something so dear to his cultural heritage. The entrepreneurs from Quebec had sought $1 million for an 18% stake in their drink company, not so creatively named Boba. Now, initial reservations about the product escalated to concern from Liu when Jessica began the pitch with, you know that trendy sugary drink you're queuing up for, but you're not quite sure about its content, just like we have heard from the video. Now, those days are over with Boba. We have transformed this beloved beverage into a convenient and healthier, ready-to-drink experience, claimed Sebastian, explaining that their version of bubble tea was made up like their simple ingredients, including high-quality tea, fruit juice, and the famous popping boba. The beverage, which comes in watermelon, dragon fruit, and peach, and retails for about $3.99 at major groceries across Canada, the US, and Europe. Liu, who was born in China, had explained to Another Dragon that people have tried to bottle it up in the past, but it's very difficult to maintain the flavor. And amused, he noted that there's an issue of cultural appropriation here. There's an issue of taking something that's very distinctly Asian in its identity and caught making it better. I thought the test was fine, but I'm concerned about this idea of disturbing bubble tea because it's something that's very near to my heart. Now, bubble tea, a beverage that contains tapioca balls called boba, originated in Taiwan in the early 1980s, has been a global phenomenon and is closely associated to Asian culture. If the train wreck of a presentation wasn't bad enough, Sebastian hit back at Liu, saying that the product had become so beloved all around the world that it's not ethnical anymore. Now, he revealed that the brand had made $2.2 million in sales in the first year, followed by $4.6 million in its second year, and were set to make $7 million this year and $14 million next year. Clearly, you're doing very well, but what respect is being paid to this very Asian drink that has blown up around the world? And is it in your teas, your product development, who is on your staff, who is on your cup table that is providing that for you? Now, the confusing answer that followed had Lu seething, as Sebastian said, a partner in Taiwan makes the recipes and the boba, to which Liu pointed out that there was nothing on the can that told customers where it came from. I started my venture company for many reasons, but primarily to uplift minority entrepreneurs. Not only do I feel like this is not happening here, but I would be uplifting a business that is profiting off of something that feels so dear to my cultural heritage. I want to be a part of bringing boba to the masses, but not like this. He finished rejecting the pitch. Clearly, this has left a sour taste in many viewers' mouths. The attempt to rebrand and improve this beloved Asian drink was not only tone deaf, but also culturally insensitive. From the onset, Jessica's questioning the safety and content of the original bubble tea was a glaring red flag. Now, it reeked of cultural superiority and ignorance, implying that Asian creators couldn't possibly produce something healthy or safe. But what's even more outrageous is the complete erasure of bubble tea's Asian origins. Not once did they acknowledge the rich cultural heritage or credit the Taiwanese and Asian communities who created this iconic drink. Now, this isn't just cultural appropriation, it's cultural exploitation. They are profiting from a cultural phenomenon without understanding or respecting its roots. Investor Simon's frustration was palpable. You're not quite sure about its content? He called out their audacity, highlighting the implicit bias. We have finally come to the end of the video, but what are your views on this? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you for always watching, and see you in my next video as I bring you another interesting video.